The Hebrews, okay? Let me see. History, black history, let me let you know some. Black history, it started in 1916 by a man called Carter G. Woodson, okay? And he wanted to bring out the accomplishment. His purpose was to bring out the accomplishments of black people for all cultures to know. That was his main purpose, okay? And that's when he started Black History. Then in 1976, President Gerald Ford recognized Black History Month. But before it was Black History Month, it used to be Black History Week, okay? So then in February, it made it Black History Month by President Gerald Ford, okay? Black history is about things and people who do not make the Caucasians feel uncomfortable. Okay, so that's why they bring out Black history of, okay, this athlete broke this record, then this is the first black governor, the first black mayor, the first black astronaut. They bring out those type of things because that doesn't make the Caucasian European culture feel uncomfortable. Now this information right here that I just gave you, it'll make them feel uncomfortable. And I'm quite sure even those that say that they live for Jesus Christ, they live for God, it'll make them feel uncomfortable. When you going through scripture and letting them know that the Ashkenazi Jews come from the bloodline of Japheth, okay, who are the Gentiles, and that the bloodline of Shem went from from Eber to Abraham, Isaac, Isaac, and Jacob, and so on, and then came to 12 tribes of Israel, that they were black people, okay? Excuse me. So that's your black history, so you know who you came from, okay? Black History Month is really about teaching pacification of black people. Okay, what is pacification? Okay, pacification is an attempt to create peace, which can mean appeasing a hostile country, okay? So black history is just put in a way where it doesn't offend the Caucasian culture, okay? And that's what it means. So now I'm going to go a little deeper, okay? I ran the 10th chapter, Genesis 10, 1 through 32. I wasn't going to read all of that, but let me see. Okay, you can read the 3rd chapter yourself. Because that's the main thing I just wanted to bring out. I want to bring out who the bloodline of the Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews are and who the bloodline of Shem is. Okay, and now I want to go to man, I can't think of that verse. I can't think of that verse, but let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter then, okay? Because I want to fast forward something real quick, okay? Deuteronomy, the 28th, and you probably heard, okay? So let's talk about the Hebrews. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the 64th verse, okay? So this is the bloodline of Shem. We understand that Israel is on the bloodline of Shem. That's why when you say things, there's the day against the Jews or the Ashkenazi Jews, they say that you're anti-Semitic. But you can't be anti-Semitic when you're from the bloodline of Japheth. Okay, you only can be anti-Semitic. That only can go if you are of the bloodline of Shem, which the Hebrews are. Let's see what the Most High say about the Hebrews. You go and read the whole 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy, because it's a prophecy that it was the prophecy of the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, so let's read the 61st Deuteronomy chapter 28, the 64th verse. And the Most High will scatter you among all people for one end of the earth, from one end of the earth even into the other, and there you will serve other gods which neither you excuse me, or your fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay, this is the curse that the Most High put on the Hebrew people, and there's a reason why he did that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4:27. Remember that 64. He said he has scattered. To be scattered means that something happened, and to be forcefully scattered around. So when they went to other places of the earth, and from this end of the earth to that end of the earth, it was because of persecution. It wasn't because they said, "Oh, let's go over here and live, and let's go over there and live, and let's go to this country and live." So they did, and on their own free will. They did it because they were scattered, persecuted, and it was by the Most High. Why? Because of disobedience, because of sin, because of serving other gods. And that's what the Hebrews did. Okay? There's only one culture of the earth where people have been scattered. Name a culture of the earth besides who you call African American Negroes, okay, black people, that have been scattered. We are the only people on the earth that have been scattered to all four corners of the earth. All other cultures of the earth basically are there where they are because they wanted to. They migrated to that part of the earth, or they moved to that part of the earth. We have been scattered, persecuted, and that's why we're all over. Okay, let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. That's what I'm trying to go to. 4:27. Exodus 4:27. And this again. And the Most High will scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Most High will leave you. And there you will serve gods and work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. Serving other gods. Okay? And that's what we do as a people. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. We're in a situation, this is what I was saying earlier that I was going to talk to you all about. Okay? There's no doubt. Let me bring this out right here real quick. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, a very reputable dictionary. Okay, Ham. It talks about the bloodline of Ham, which is the progenitor. He's the progenitor, the father. Progenitor just means father of the dark races. Okay, and it say Ham, which means perhaps hot. Why? Because the nations over the continent of Africa and all in that area of the earth, what? It's hot. The weather is nice. It's hot. They don't get severe winters. Okay? It's hot there. Okay, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor, which the progenitor means father. He became the progenitor. He became the father of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. And it says, see Genesis 10:6 through 20. Okay? So it's letting you know that Ham is the father, and I'm going to bring it to you so you can see. And it's letting you know that Ham is the father of all the dark-skinned races, and where you see I have underlined in red, except the Negroes. Who do you call Negroes? That's us. Okay? So do you see that, and do you understand that? And I want you to understand that. Okay? That the people that you call the Negroes, you call us niggas and all of that stuff, we are the Hebrews. Our bloodline is of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we're in the conditions we are, and we are oppressed because of our, as a people, turning ourselves and our ways against the Most High. And we still do this today. So what have you learned through our oppression, people? And I'm talking to you. What have you learned? You still party. you're still twerking, you're still in Hollywood sinning, you're still on these what you call these shows that come on television, reality shows. You're still on these reality shows acting the fool. You're throwing up the satanic symbols. I love Satan, the Baphomet sign, the 666. What have you learned? And then you cry about our brutality that has happened and that is happening to us. You talk about our children being killed by the police. You're in the uproar about that. You talk about the gangs that's killing each other. Like you talk about the Bloods, the Crips, and everybody else out there. You talk about how they're killing each other, and you all in the uproar. How we're being our neighborhoods are red line. You can't live in this part of the city or this part of the state, and we don't want black hair. There's a book right here that's called, let me go get it. There's a book. What did I do with that book? Okay, I know what it is. It's a book called Sundown Times. Okay? I can't get to the book right now, but there's a book that I have called Sundown Times, and it reveals the different towns that's in the United States that have their name, but the meaning of that name really means like no niggers here, no Negroes here, keep all black people away, and all those type of things, right? And that book exposes those type of things. So we as a people wonder why we in the condition that we are. The Most High said, I'm going to scatter you to the four corners of the earth. You're going to go and you're going to be and you're going to live in a nation of your enemies. And what do enemies do? Enemies do everything to persecute you, to crush you, to grind you with hatred and dislike. Now, there's people of other cultures and that's nice, that's kind, that's respectful, and I meet them and I also know them, right? But as a system, who operates the system of the United States? And that system that's against us. We're incarcerated, we're in prison. So I say to our people, when are you going to learn? When are you going to, turn to the Most High and honestly live for Him? When are you going to stop idling, dealing in witchcraft? And you cry, how can you cry about your situation? How can you cry about your condition, but you continue to live your life for Satan? But you want God to deliver you. You want the Most High to deliver you. But you don't pray, you don't fast, you don't speak truth, teach truth, and you living like a devil. And you living like Satan. You're cursing, using profanity, letting everything come out of your mouth that you can think of that's evil, wicked, and sinful. Every evil imagination of your thoughts you do. You pull out a gun, you're killing each other. You're getting on the reality shows, acting the fool, living for Satan. You're going to the clubs, drinking, turning it up, and promoting these liquor and these beer companies that don't give a blank about you. And they're not even in the culture, and the money is not even coming to you. So, but you want the Most High to deliver us. You want us to stop going through our persecution, our injustice. You see? But how can you? But because of our sin and the curses that we're living in the book of Deuteronomy, I'm going to tell you a secret. That we're living in the book of Deuteronomy, since the Most High has put that curse is already ordained for a certain period of time. So you can't deliver a people when we're still living under the curse as a people. That's why Marcus Garvey couldn't deliver us. That's why Malcolm X couldn't deliver us. That's why Medgar Evers couldn't deliver us. That's why Martin Luther King couldn't deliver us. You see, and everybody else that I'm not thinking above. That's why Harriet Tubman couldn't deliver us. You understand? Because we're still living under the curse, and the Most High has a set time for that to happen. And there's no deliverance for us because of that. So the only thing that you can do as an individual right now is to turn to the Most High, worship Him, live for Him. And I mean live for Him. You're going to live for Him, live for Him. You can't be lukewarm. The scripture, He said, and the Most High said in Scripture, I'd rather for you to be hot which means living for me, or cold, which means living for Satan. Because if you lukewarm, trying to live for him, trying to live for the Most High and live for Satan, the Most High said, I'll spit you out of my mouth. There's no such thing as straddling the fence. You can't live for Satan and then claim that you living for the Most High. So because of us as a people, our disobedience, worshiping, we dealing witchcraft, talking about doing spells on people and hating people, disliking people, gossiping, and all the sins. You worship your cars, gold, jewelry. Look at our people. So when deliverance doesn't look like it's gonna come in my lifetime, you see, it's not. How can you? You can't. The Most High is not gonna deliver us. Okay, Black history. Okay, you go to Moses. I'm not gonna go to it, but you go to Exodus. Exodus, the 2nd chapter, verse 19, it lets you know that Moses was mistaken for an Egyptian. Okay, Egyptians are who you call a black people. Egypt is on the continent of Africa, right? When Moses delivered the 2 ladies that was coming to the well, because it was the other men coming to disrespect them, and Moses stood up for them, okay, and made sure they got their water. And that's why when the women went back, their father asked them, how did you get back so fast? And they said it was an Egyptian that stood up for them. Okay, they mistaken Moses for an Egyptian, but Moses is what? He's a Hebrew of the nation of Israel. He was a black person. If you want to go and see what the Egyptians look like, a lot of them live in sundown Africa. Okay, when you go on YouTube, type in, go to Google it. You look and see what the people in sundown Africa. That's why they are now. Egypt has failed. Okay, we have been slaves to the Persians, to the Arabs. We've been slaves to the Egyptians. We've been slaves to Babylon. We've been slaves. Now we're slaves to America. We've been slaves to the United States, and still we're systematically slaves to them today. Okay, but everybody that we've been slaves to, their nations have fallen because the Most High said that they were going to fall. Egypt don't exist today. The people that live in Egypt today, they speak Arabic. They're Arabs. They run and operate the government, and they're the ones that occupy what is known as Egypt today. The Most High destroyed Egypt. Okay? Babylon, we were slaves to Babylon. Okay? Babylon no longer exists. Okay? Babylon worship other gods. They were idol worshippers. Egypt, the same thing. They served other gods. They were sinful and all of that. Now you got the United States, and the United States has done the same. The United States, and they have taken on the beliefs of Babylon and Egypt, which are black people. Rome, Greece, they did the same thing. That's why they failed. Okay? Nobody can. Hitler said it himself. Look it up. Google it. Hitler said that America was going to fall. Why? Because they are occupying and putting in slaves and mistreating God's people who are the Israel. Look it up. Google it. Hitler knew who we were. Okay? So I'm saying this. So this is why when Black History come and they say things like this is the first black governor, the first black mayor, the first black astronaut, this athlete broke